Holy, buddy. What a week. What a weekend. I heard that other company did something. I don't remember. I don't know. Something about WrestleMania. I don't know. It left a lot to be desired, folks, but we are not here to talk about all that bullshit. And let me tell you something. If you hear people talking about WWE right now, they're probably talking about how bullshit it is. Let's just be real with each other here. And so we're just not even going to go there because there's so much to talk about when it comes to AEW. Holy shit, crap, Ola. What an incredible week between both Dynamite and Collision spring breakthrough shows. We've got the deets, of course, on the Collision show. I would throw you over as usual to sit down, shut up, mark out for your Dynamite recap. Of course, all elite wrap up as well. Those folks are always doing a great job. We're here for the Collision deep dive. We're here for the Dynamite preview. So, I mean, again, let's get into it. And we started, of course, with Collision. We didn't start with that match, but we did start with this one. Kevin Knight, Lance Archer. When I saw this match was happening, I was like, oh my God, this is the perfect storm for me. Two guys I love, two guys I really like. Not only just as wrestlers, but I feel like they've shown that they're good people. And I mean, Kevin Knight, you want to talk about a meteoric rise in AEW. I mean, he literally came in and within 2 weeks, he had a banger with Jay White in his debut. And then he immediately got into the Owen, had a banger with Ospreay on pay-per-view at Dynasty. I mean, you can't make up what kind of a start to an AEW career Kevin Knight has had. Of course, Lance Archer has had a rough one in AEW, started hot as well, had a weird mid-period where he does the job to that guy over in the other company for the first TNT title. He sort of falls into mediocrity. He ends up having a resurgence again with Moxley for the IWGP United States title back when that existed. And now he just feels like a guy in AEW, unfortunately. And I know he's doing the Don Callis thing, and that's been good. And he got some steam with Brian Cage as a tag team, and then Brian got hurt. So this match was good for him in a way because it showed that, hey, you know what? He's not just a plodding big man. He's actually incredibly athletic, and he can have really, really solid matches. And he had a very solid match here with Kevin Knight. Ends up losing to Kevin Knight, but I do hope we see more of Lance Archer down the road. But man, you want to talk about some shockers. We got a shocker and a half in this one. Rocky Romero and Tomohiro Ishii did wrestle Josh Alexander and Konosuke Takeshita. However, there was some dissension the day before on a special ROH, and it's funny because people claim that Tony Khan doesn't have, good planning skills. He can't do long-form storytelling. Well, he knew to do a separate episode of ROH because they had taped a match where old Tomohiro and Rocky were not really gelling, and that led to issues in a match on ROH. So he airs that the day before this happens, knowing he's going to flip the script here and turn it. I thought it was very well done. The match was good. The dissension worked. And again, this is nice because I'm a huge fan of Rocky Romero. And I was a huge fan of Roppongi Vice. So having Trent Beretta come back from injury, he was really hot when he turned on Orange, and then he gets hurt like right away. This guy's AEW career is like a story of start stop because of injuries. But again, hope Trent is back and ready to go full bore 100% for a while, because I think him and if they are going with this, which I think they are, Roppongi Vice reforming, joining the Don Callis Alliance here, family, whatever, along with Josh Alexander, who the night before was the wild card against Hangman, turned on Hangman. I'm loving Don Callis right now, and I think Joshi G over on Sit Down, Shut Up, Mark Out said it perfectly. I mean, they're the top heel group right now in AEW, it feels like. I mean, I know the Death Riders are feeling a little rejuvenated right now. And speaking of Collision, they did start where they just destroyed shit around the ring. And they kind of showed off that NWO side, which is really what we all wanted and expected this whole time and didn't really get till now. And it feels like the end. Don Callis family is a whole different thing. This feels like an old school, all the fucking heels are together. This shyster con man, used car salesman, Don Callis, has just somehow fucking, corrupted the entire heel locker room. Okay. And I love that. Okay. It's very fucking, it's very 80s. And of course, at the end of the show, we'll get into my 80s podcast, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, I love this. And Rocky deserves a career rejuvenation on TV, man. This guy is a warrior. He's quite literally the reason that AEW and New Japan even worked together at all. He brokered that deal when that looked like it was forever severed. And he did the same thing really with the CMLL AEW deal when fucking Conan pulled Conan moves. And of course, the news coming out of Mania weekend, we might as well touch on it now, since we're talking about Rocky Romero and he's a lucha legend. AAA now is owned by WWE. Now, of course, the real story is a little murkier than that. There's this whole like Philippe fucking company that owns it but doesn't, came in together with TKO. I mean, it's all shady fucking bullshit as usual here. Not good for lucha at all, but I think not as big of a blow as WWE and others may believe. Listen, AAA has been on their deathbed for a while. It's been probably over a year now that they have teased sales, they've teased all this shit. And then it came out, and I don't know if this is confirmed. I don't know if it's confirmed, but I did see earlier today, before I was running errands and things, that perhaps Alberto El Patron, the problematic of problematics, if this is true, the up to now current Mega Campeon of AAA is gone. They have released him from AAA. I don't know if that's true. I think it should be true because the guy's a fucking problem. And let's just say that there have been conversations about him having ties to people you don't want to have ties to. And as much as WWE has really shown their cards as a really shitbag organization in various ways, I don't know if El Patron is the guy to really, put your fucking neck on the line for. So that happened. We expect, and of course the week before, like 10 days before the Grand Slam Mexico show, now they have announced a Worlds Collide event, of course. So, as usual, Paul Levesque's shaking quite literally in his fucking boots because I think he realizes that the nostalgia pop that has been really keeping WWE alive for probably a decade is waning. But we will go back to AEW, and the biggest star of the women's division right now outside of Toni Storm is Megan Bayne. I think it's not even fucking close, and it's not even a disrespect to any of the other women in AEW. I think AEW is incredible. Am I telling you she's a better wrestler than Mercedes Moné? Am I telling you she's a better wrestler than Athena or like Jamie Hayter or Chris Statlander? No, I'm not. But I am saying that she is the complete package, unlike anybody else right now in this women's division. She killed 2 people again. She looked like a fucking goddess. All hail Megan Bayne, folks. And I think that we just continue to see how good she truly is. I mean, she's doing shit that just doesn't make sense. I also highly recommend those of you that have the opportunity to do so, it is on Triller TV Plus. The Joey Janela Spring Break show, she wrestled another impressive woman from over in Marigold's promotion, Bozilla, and that was a just Hossette fight from fucking heaven. You gotta go check that out. Fucking wild. Megan Bayne, another great weekend for WrestleMania weekend too, by the way. She doesn't stop. I assumed when she debuted for AEW that she would take off some of these indie dates and stuff. Nope, she's just still plugging along. Fuck it, I'm gonna run till the wheels fall off, and it doesn't look like they're gonna fall off anytime soon. Megan Bayne, unbelievable. I mean, I can't say enough how impressive she has been in AEW, and I expect it to keep going. I think Tony Khan did a good job. I mean, if she is going to lose that big match against Toni Storm, now you got to have her just killing everybody, and that's exactly what we have. Adam Cole had an open challenge for his TNT title in Boston, and it was answered by Claudio Castagnoli, and they ended up having a really, really good match. It's fucking Chugs versus Swiss, folks, for all you Da Party fans. I mean, these are legendary folks here, and you can tell, it's one of those things when you're really good friends with somebody, you just beat the shit out of them. That was what happened here. A lot of stiff shots, a lot of stuff that looked like it hurt, because I know it did, and I thought this was a great outing. I love that a lot of people are like crying out, well, this looks bad for Claudio. He just lost 2 straight title matches. He's a heel. Yep, he did. And I'm willing to bet you he's going to look strong next time you see him, because that's just the cycle of wrestling life, folks. I thought this was great. It's also one of those things when you think about booking. Do we need to keep Adam Cole strong versus Claudio strong? Well, Adam Cole's a babyface, at least right now. He just won the TNT title, a belt that we really had no momentum on with Daniel Garcia either. Versus Claudio, who just had a long-ass run with the trios titles. He's in the top fucking heel group in the company, etc. I think we're good on having Claudio drop one here. So I thought it was a great move. That was a really good match. And let's hope to God they continue with this, with Cole making the TNT title something important. I mean, it's a shame because it really was the Intercontinental title level belt for AEW. It was the first secondary title in the company, and it would feel weird to me as a traditionalist, at least first in my life as a wrestling fan. I loved the TNT title, right? All the great runs. My guy Joe had a couple runs with the belt. Like, it was really the workhorse title, and at least like the stepping stone title at the very least, for a long time, and then it got lost in the shuffle. So let's hope that Cole makes it or something, just like let's hope the LFI return in full force becomes something, because I think this has a lot of legs. And Roosh, my God, you talk about a frustrating wrestler. He's just that guy, man. Like, he gets momentum and he looks great, and then he either like has a fucking problem in the back and gets suspended, or he gets fucking hurt. Oh my God, it's like the first Continental Classic when he hurt his hamstring. I was like, oh my God, we were about to have all these great matches, and now we've got like a half-assed Roosh, and it's not his fault, right? And, kudos to him for toughing it out and finishing that tournament, but God, man, that's the kind of shit that Roosh, very similar to Adam Cole in that way, where it's like he gets momentum, and then just some fuckery happens, and we lose Roosh. Dralistico has been phenomenal as of late. He had that great match with Speedball, I believe, last week on Collision. And then Mortos is Mortos, folks. I mean, he's the greatest of fucking all time, okay? Like, he is the greatest, like, mid-card lucha act, like, ever, man. Like, he's reaching Super Calo levels to me of just fucking it's so campy, it's cool as fuck. You know what I mean? It's amazing, right? So I need LFI to feel like a team that, like, could maybe fucking challenge the Ops for the fucking trios titles. Like, let's go, man. And also just overall, let's make the trios titles mean something. How about that for a fucking change? So loved this. And yet again, 3 guys. Who'd they kill? I don't know. Who the fuck does it need to be, right? And that leads us to our Ring of Honor World Television Championship. Commander defending his title against Nick Wayne, and this was phenomenal. I didn't even see enough love online, in my opinion, for this one. This was great. Commander, man, you know what? He answered the call when he got this world television title, right? He showed up. He's had great matches against guys like Black Panther. I mean, the fucking list goes on. I can't even fucking remember how many fucking guys, because it felt like for, a month or two that he just kept defending the title like every other week. Great shit, but it was time. Nick Wayne was on another level in this match, and finally the trigger was pulled, and he won. He is the new Ring of Honor World Television Champion, and I think this is perfect for him. I said even early on with Nick Wayne, throw him in Ring of Honor and let him be the ace of Ring of Honor. And I would love if they did that. And now with the way that they do things where they, obviously Athena is becoming a big part of AEW TV. We're really getting the reintegration of Ring of Honor on main television. And yes, I know a lot of people are going to be weird about it because, well, Tony told us that he wouldn't do this again. Well, then again, Tony, I think, assumed there would be a TV rights deal thrown at his lap, and whether that was good or bad, either way, we're past that point, and I think he realizes, all right, I have to regroup in terms of what I'm going to do with this Ring of Honor IP. And I think he knows I got to keep it relevant, so I got to keep it on TV. It's the same thing that, anyone that's ever done an invasion angle or has acquired another intellectual property has had to do. And, this isn't the first time that a major company's had this thing happen. And I think, why not put it in something that already has legs on your TV that doesn't get a lot of TV time anyway, and that's the fucking patriarchy thing, right? And Christian Cage has to have a major angle going forward after the way Revolution ended. Why not have Nick Wayne do this? Hey man, I'm glowing up without you around, so why do I need you, old man? I think this is great. And not only that, Nick Wayne's a great talent. He's so young. What do they say? He's like about to turn 20? Holy shit. He's a babe. He is a small babe in the woods, and he's this good. So why not give him the title? I think with Commander, though, I think that they've kind of already shown that he and Hologram are going to do the tag thing, which I think is fine. I think that they have good chemistry as a tag team. And hey, listen, man, this stuff happens. It doesn't mean like the end of the world for Commander. And I thought this was phenomenal. Like I said, I thought that this was a great thing to do. Nobody looks less than here. It's not like Commander got fucking squashed. You know what I mean? Solid TV wrestling. And another example was our main event, the women's tag match between Mercedes Moné and Harley Cameron against Julia Hart and Chris Statlander, and of course Timeless on commentary, and she was Timeless on commentary. This was great. I thought every one of these women in this equation showed out. This was a really good showing, specifically from Julia Hart. I think she looked much better here than she did on her Dynasty, where I was very vocal that I thought her match with Mercedes, while it was good at the end and the beginning, hit a very rough middle where it just looked like Julia was lost. And here she was very much not lost. She was there for everything. She was doing spots everywhere. And, Statlander, holy shit, she's come back with a vengeance. She seems to have a new sort of a fire in her ever since that Megan Bayne defeat last time. And she's been great in the Owen. And this was her warm-up. I mean, in a lot of ways, this is crazy to think that Mercedes Moné is in a fucking warm-up match for somebody, but that's really, in essence, what this was. And Mercedes is on another level. I mean, she really is. I know I said earlier that Megan Bayne is the second biggest star in AEW's women's division. I'm sure that that's actually Mercedes, but I just mean, rising stars. I think Mercedes is such a star everywhere she goes. And I think that they've done a very good job of protecting her as really the one to sort of give out the torches is what I think Mercedes will be for AEW in a good way. I think she'll stay over. She'll keep getting pushes, but I think you're going to see her put over Athena. I think you're going to see her put over a lot of these people. I think she already made Harley Cameron. That match in Grand Slam Australia was great, and no different here. Harley looked much better here than she ever has. She keeps leveling up. So this was a great little love letter to women's wrestling fans, specifically AEW women's wrestling fans that are like, well, is this going to keep going? Are we going to keep getting these women's main events and respect and all the women being used and treated well? And I think we will for the most part. I'm not going to say there won't be bad moments. It's pro wrestling, right? And focus is the death of any company creatively. When you lose focus, you're in trouble. And, we all know about that, right? We've seen many companies, one most notably that had a show in Vegas, few shows in Vegas, that has lost focus. And I think right now Tony Khan has got his focus on this women's division. He understands. Tony Storm forced him, and Mariah May as well, to see the value in the women. Because, when you've got a thing like the Death Riders, right, and they're doing their thing, and I don't hate it, but I definitely think it got stale. You need another thing to draw people in, right? Like, if your main event's lacking, you need that undercard and the other divisions to fucking pick up the slack. And the women are picking up the slack in a big way. And I think it's good for AEW. People are not liking the main event situation, and I think it will improve, but the women are the fucking main event anyway, man. And so kudos to TK for kind of just kowtowing to that and going, you know what? You're the best thing about our TV right now. So yes, you do deserve the main event. Here you go. I love that. So kudos to him for that. Another incredible collision. I mean, this is continually A show 2 instead of the B show for AEW. And that leads us to the original Dynamite tonight, if you do listen to this when it is released. And again, another one where Tony has got his cards close to the vest, and I love these Dynamites because you never know what the fuck he's going to do, and I think he knows, after that turd that was laid in the middle of Allegiant Stadium, that, hey, I need to, change it up here. I need to, keep doing what we're doing, but we've got the hot hand after last week with the Dynamite, overtaking Nitro thing. Like, people are focused on us, just like, again, focus, right? Take advantage of that good publicity you got. And I think FTR's heel stuff is a great example of that. These two have been the most evil motherfuckers in the company. I can't imagine what they're going to do tonight. I have a feeling someone's going to get hurt. And I think maybe somebody's neck's going to get fucking broke. So there you go. We love that. And let's get to the big one. The one everyone's fucking crying about. I saw so many goofs online talking about, oh, well, what are you really, after fucking WWE's Travis Scott thing, you're just going to do the same thing with the rapper? Two problems with that, okay? For one, Master P owns House of Glory, an indie promotion that is very, very well respected, so he gets the business. He's been a longtime fan. He also owns the minor league basketball team that performs in the arena they are in tonight in New Orleans, okay? He is not gonna fucking show up and interfere in the main event. He's not the fucking world champion. These fucking people, man. Guys, stop with the knee-jerk reactions. That is what I notice more than anything about the online wrestling fucking community. And that's a joke, by the way. There's no community unless you make your own community. Shouts out Sickos Club. And that's the truth, right? Because everyone's from a whole different fucking world of this, right? You got the boomer fucking goofs that are into Cornette and Bischoff, right? And then you got the elder millennials like myself that try to just fucking love wrestling. We loved ECW. We loved WCW. We loved WWF, right? We loved Japan. So we're all about, maybe not just fucking freaking out over every little thing, right? We're not into the clickbait thing. And then you got the Zoomers, and all they're doing is just trolling, right? All they're doing is man, WWE is the best shit ever. And I don't think most of those goofs really even believe that, to be very honest with you. But this is what you get, right? Like, you see Master P is fucking. Also, it's like, okay, they just took over Nitro as the longest running thing in Turner, right? Okay, well then who was part of that, right? What was one of the most infamous things on Turner Wrestling? It was fucking No Limit Soldiers. And I'll be honest, a fucking hot take. I fucking love the No Limit Soldiers. It's not fucking Master P's fault that Russo's an idiot. So relax, everybody. I think we'll have a little bit of a moment. I think this is going to be part of the Hurt Syndicate segment tonight. It will look great. It'll be great. Him and MVP are going to do the angle where we've been boys forever. It'll be fine. You guys will end up liking the segment. I'll have another hot take. I bet people like the segment. I bet he won't be a fucking distraction. I bet everyone will go, that was a fun little thing. That was cool. You know, we like Master P. Good for him. That's what I think. So everybody fucking calm down. How about watch a show before you shit on it? What a novel idea, right? Just before. Maybe before. Anyway. We got Jet Ball. That's what I'm calling this tag team, and I'm going to do it for life. I don't care what anyone else thinks. Against the Young Bucks. This is the Young Bucks' first match back to AEW since the shocking return at Dynasty to help Jon Moxley and the Death Riders retain the World Championship. We also saw them try to get involved in the World Trios Championship match last week on Dynamite and fail thanks to Swerve. I think this will be a banger and a half. This will be incredible. I expect this to be a 2-segment match. Multiple false finishes, insanity. I will go as far as to say PWG-esque, for those of you that understand what that means. And another one, I saw a lot of people like, I mean, it's going to be a good match, but like, here we go, Speedball and Kevin Knight, 2 hottest new guys jobbing to the Bucks. Well, first off, that's not a guarantee. Who knows? I don't know. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Swerve fucks the Bucks over again and helps them win. Or how about, what an idea, they win clean. I don't think that's crazy. Would I say that the odds are in the Bucks' favor? Of course, it's the Young Bucks, right? But this like hate for the Bucks really makes me giggle. Because what have they ever done in the grand scheme of things other than what they say, which is the truth, create a second major wrestling company in America to provide money for way more wrestlers than ever got this kind of money, to provide for their families in a way that wrestlers have not been able to do since WCW. And let's just fucking be real about it, okay? They never shit-talked Phil, even though he fucking has no problem shit-talking them. I don't remember them ever saying a word about the whole all in, all out thing. I don't remember that. I mean, I guess they presented the all in footage in a tongue-in-cheek way, and they were working, and it's clear that they were being the heels. I don't think this is what I think. People have worked themselves into a shoot about the Bucks. I think they really think that they are these people in real life. I think it's fucking hilarious that they think that. And they're just, listen, they're the best tag team on planet Earth. And if you don't think so, you just don't get it. They are. They are. If the Rock and Roll Express had more longevity and had like actual money and promotion behind them. Because that's what it is, guys. And if you don't believe me, ask Ricky Morton. He'll tell you, because he said it before. I love the Young Bucks. I think they're incredible. So again, it's a lot of this boomer shit where people just have to shit on it because they've been told to shit on it by Jimmy Cornette and fucking Eric Bischoff. It's that shit trough eating mentality. But anyway, I think this match will be great. It doesn't fucking matter what the finish will be. And listen, enjoy pro wrestling. After, again, that turd that was laid in Vegas, have a little faith that Tony can put together a better show than that. And I think that is a very low bar. And I think we will actually exceed that bar. I think we actually will overcome it. I think we'll be all right, because I do think the main event will be another women's match, because what the fuck's going to be able to follow Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander for the semi-final of the Owen Hart Foundation Cup? This has banger written all over it. These two women are going to be motivated. They are two women that have either been sidelined by injury or kind of put on the back burner for somebody else. They're going to show out tonight. Who do I think wins? Who? And they're facing Mercedes. Well, I think one of Mercedes' best TBS title matches ever was against Statlander. I believe at World's End. But then on the other hand, I don't think that Mercedes and Jamie Hayter have ever wrestled each other. I feel like Jamie gets it. And I think Jamie and Mercedes will be a great match that I think Athena fucks Mercedes out of at Double or Nothing. And I think we get Jamie Hayter, Toni Storm for the World Championship at All In. But this is another one. I don't think the finish matters all that much. I think it's going to be a great match. I think both of these women will be better off for it. And they have been presented in a very strong way. I expect this to be great. Jamie Hayter just feels like the hot hand right now. I feel like she just is going to be the one that is the difference maker. Chris Statlander is great, and she deserves it. She really does. And she definitely deserves the Women's World Championship. She's one of the longest tenured women in the company. She's been solid from day one. Yeah, this is a tough one. Like I said, I got Hayter here, but it's by a very small margin of error. But either way, I think it's going to be an unbelievable show. And that's it for this week. However, I am a fucking shill, so let me go ahead and do it. I got another podcast, and that's from Crockett to Chaos. And tomorrow on YouTube's, it will be episode 2, and I will be covering the summer of 1988. And oh boy, did Jim Crockett have a fucking can of worms on his desk in the summer of 1988. Clash of the Champions 1 had happened, and it was a huge success. But the financial woes of Jim Crockett Promotions just were too great to survive. And talk of a sale to Turner begins for real. Check it out tomorrow on this YouTube channel. Thank you for checking out the pod. And as usual, just go love pro wrestling in whatever form that you love it in. Because life is too short to be a miserable fuck.